Hey, good evening. It is about 6:20 on Saturday evening, and I don't usually cook and demo about this time, but you know, it's time to eat, okay? So we've been pretty much fasting all day, not really had much to eat. So here we go. I have got some, oh my gosh, y'all saw me out there cutting this kale earlier, and all I did, I think it's kale. You know, it may be mustard because when I tasted it, it tasted like mustard. But I bought it as kale in a little plant down there. And I'm going to slide this back. This is where I'm going to cook my steaks. But I wanted to show you just how quick and easy it is to cook these greens. Sandra told you don't need to watch this because you know how to do this. But here's what I got. In this little pan here, and normally I would cook it in my little squatty pot, but I wanted you to see it, all right? So all I've got is avocado oil. Here you go. Don't use that vegetable oil anymore. That stuff is poison. Yeah. So get you some avocado oil and turn your skillet on high. I'm gonna cook some steaks over here. But anyway, so this is out of my flour pot. Look how much it is. So I would say that's about 8 to 10 cups, which is about what we're supposed to eat. And I'm gonna just put it over in here. So and I know it's making a lot of racket. But you gotta have it on high, because here's what I'm doing. Oh goodness. I didn't know it was gonna make that much racket. Okay. So I'm wilting it. I'm just wilting it. That's all I'm doing. I'm wilting it. I could have cut it up in smaller pieces, but I just did it like that. And so I'm just got some tongs, and I'm just flipping it. You know, if it was, yeah. I'm just flipping it, getting it hot on every side, and that's going to wilt it. Alright, so you see there? It's wilted. It's almost wilted now. Alright, I am going to add a little bit of water, not much. And then, I'm just going to cover, oh, you know what else I forgot? I forgot the salt and pepper, so I'm going to put some salt. I don't think I'm going to put any pepper, and then I'm going to grab a little chunk of butter just because it kind of makes it a little, gives it a little different flavor, the butter. So I'm going to put some butter in there and just let that simmer while I'm cooking these steaks. So I'm just going to cover it. You see my lid kind of goes down in there, so it's going to act like an oven, and I'm going to turn it way down on low, okay? I'm going to turn that fan off just so you can. Okay, so then I'm going to bring this is a big cast iron skillet. It's really bigger than I need, but I wanted to show it to you. So really what I could do, I could move this back to the back so it could kind of be out of the way back there. And I've just got this heating up. I got some garlic in this avocado oil, and I have marinated these steaks overnight in some not soy sauce, not Worcestershire, that all has soy toxins in it, in Bragg's liquid amino. And I'm sorry I didn't flip the camera, but anyway, this is liquid aminos, all-purpose seasoning. And then I've got some special seasoning, James. It's a rub. It's just a rub to put on meat. Now you think, why are you not grilling those steaks? So these came from Reedy Creek Meats, and their meat is so beautiful. And I just don't want to. Sometimes I like them grilled in the pan. All right, but I want to move that garlic out of the way because I don't want to burn it, because you don't want a burnt garlic taste. And I'm just going to get it. So all I really wanted to do was season that oil. And so there we go. So I'm putting it in there. And there again, that's going to make a little noise. But what I'm doing right now is I'm searing it. And so I did not put that rub on this side of the steak because it's going to stick to the pan and it's going to burn, okay? So I'm going to turn this down to about medium. I'm going to let that sear, and every few minutes or every few seconds, really, I'm going to tip it up and pick up that steak and let that grease get under there. That grease, I call it grease. It's actually avocado oil. I'm going to let it get under that steak. Let me turn that off. And that's what's going to cook it, okay? So I'm going to let that cook really good. I like my steak rare. James likes his medium well. So I'm probably going to take this I'm probably going to take this bigger one and give him the thinner one. But, well, actually, the thicker one, he's going to get the bigger one. Anyway, they're about the same size. But I rarely eat a whole steak. But, you know, sometimes when I'm fasted, I will. So I just keep shifting it and picking it up, letting that oil get up under there. And now at the end, I'm going to show you a little trick that's really, really good. It's going to add some extra flavor to it. Hey, Sandra. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Kimberly. Yeah, all right. So you see these greens, they're just cooking away back there. And I'm actually letting them get soft. But you might want to put them in the pressure cooker. You could do that if you like them softer. But you see they're going to be really, really good. All right, so it's about time. I think I'm going to add a little bit more avocado oil. I don't ever measure anything. I just kind of put what's needed. So I'm going to I turn this down. Oops, I turned off the wrong burner. Here we go. All right, I'm going to turn this down and let this, like I said, I keep letting that oil go up under my steak to cook it. And yeah, so I'm about to flip it. I don't want to flip it too soon because when I flip it, this seasoning that I've got on there is going to brown, all right? And I don't want it to brown too much because it'll have a burnt taste. So I definitely don't want a burnt taste. You see, I keep lifting it and letting the meat get up under it. What I could do here, and I might just do that, is I could actually cover, well, I need a bigger lid. I could actually cover it and let that act like an oven. When you put that lid on there, like I did back here, it actually traps in the heat, but you don't, yeah, you're kind of cooking. But you don't want to have it tight because then it's going to sweat and it's going to make your meat tough. So you don't want it to sweat. You don't want to get, you know, a lot of moisture under here. All right, so you see I turned that off so it's about to quit cooking. So I'm about to, and I just keep lifting it and letting that oil, that hot flavored oil, it's flavored with garlic now. Okay, so for those of you, while that's doing, for those of you that haven't seen me do this, this is for you new cooks out there. All right, so you pop off a piece of garlic. Here we go. You just take your knife and put it in between the cloves, and you pop off a piece, and here's how you peel it. You put it down on your, I'm going to put it right here. I think you can see that. And then you just put your knife blade over it, and then you just smash it like that, and then you clip off the very tip, and it just peels off really easily. There you go. So you see it's peeled, and then I would just chip it up in there. In fact, you can't ever have too much garlic, I don't think. And garlic is one of those things right now they're saying to really eat a lot of that because it's so healthy. So I'm going to put that in there. But again, you don't want that to burn because you don't want that burnt garlic taste. Hey, Brenda. Hey, Jordy. Hey, Hope. Yeah, so I'm cooking up these beautiful steaks, Hope, from Reedy Creek Meats. Yeah. All right, so here I go. I'm just about to flip them. All right, so look at that. All right, so here's what I want to tell you this if you're new in the kitchen. So this side over here, because I don't have a gas stove, this side over here has cooked less because it's away from the heat. You see it's not over the heat. So when I flip it over, I want to put that side toward the middle. You can see how that's cooked more. And then instead of flipping it that way, I'm going to flip it that way. I hope that makes sense. All right, and then I'm going to let the juices go under there because I don't want it to get burnt. I don't want it to have a burnt taste, okay? Now, I'm going to cover it a little bit just to let that cook, but I'm going to tell you in just a minute, mine's going to be ready to come up because I like mine medium rare. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Jake. Hey, Teresa. Hey, Martha. Good to see you. All right, so, but I'm still going to, I'm still gonna keep letting my grease, I keep calling it grease, but you know, my juice out of the steak, I'm gonna let it get up under there because when I pick it up, I can see there's none there, but when I do that, it rolls back under there, and it helps it just to cook evenly and keep it moist. You know, nobody likes a dry steak. or nobody likes a burnt tasting steak. All right, so I'm gonna cover that up. I still got my garlic in there. I'm kind of watching that garlic because I don't want it to burn. But I've got my temperature on about medium, so that's what I'm gonna do. Now, the other thing I got going over here in the Instapot, which you can't see, but there it is. Well, here you go. I've got this beautiful salad that came from the hydroponic farm. So I do have a few tomatoes, but they're organic. And then some goat cheese and some fresh ranch. It's delicious. I got a great homemade ranch recipe. And then this is my husband. He doesn't eat tomatoes, so there you go. But see this red lettuce? So anytime you've got a different color in a vegetable, it's going to give you a different nutrient. And the stronger the color, the deeper the color, the more nutrients are in it. So when you're picking up things like celery or lettuce or whatever it is, you want to try to grab, or green peppers, you want to grab the ones that have the most color, or like a yellow pepper, if it's a darker yellow, you want to get it with the most color. All right, so my steak is done. So I'm gonna, well, actually I was gonna take this bigger one, so I might just do that. I'm gonna take this, not bigger one, it's actually thicker, and I love a thick steak. So there you go. And what you're seeing in the bottom of this pan that I need to break loose or it's gonna be burned is that rub. So I'm just gonna kind of push that to the side. And then here's my little trick that I wanted to show you at the very end. My son Matthew actually showed me this. All right, so I put a big blob of butter, and you know this has got to be good Kerrygold butter in here, and I'm gonna let this steak come up to the side a little bit. I'm gonna put this butter and let it melt, and actually kind of brown a little bit. Oh, you can't see me. I turned my phone around. All right, so here we go. I'm letting that brown, and then I'm gonna pick that steak up. I'm gonna let that butter brown a little bit in that seasoning. I'm gonna put it over in there. I'm gonna take mine, there we go, and put it back in there. Put it in that butter. Now you talk about some good. Now that is some good. So there we go. And I'm going to cover James's and let his cook a little bit longer because, like I said, he likes his done. All right, so here's what we're going to have. I'm going to take these greens. They probably need to be cut a little bit. I'm not sure if you can see them. I'm going to cut them up. They're a little bit tough, but you know what? I like them that way. And one little thing I do add to them. All right, so this is organic maple syrup, all right? And I'm going to put just a tad. Look how little I put. Just a tad, maybe a teaspoon of maple syrup in those greens. And then I'm just going to swish them around, get that syrup all through there. Because honestly, when you think about how much goodness you got. And maple syrup is optional, optimal, by the way. It's organic. It comes out of the maple tree. It's not like corn syrup. So there we go. So that's going to go there. And then let me show you what else I have here. Okay, so here we go. This is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sweet potato that I have just done in the Instapot. And usually, if it wasn't so hot, I could show you. That peeling just comes right off of there. I mean, it comes off so pretty usually. But of course, and these sweet potatoes done in the Instant Pot, they are so good because they're so moist. All right, so there we go. Now, I usually eat my peeling, but when I do them in the Instant Pot like this, I don't. All right, so I'm going to put that sweet potato right there. I'm going to mash it. And guess what I'm going to put on it? More butter. But you know what? This is a good fat. And I'm going to add a little salt. All right. Okay, so I want to check on my steak here. I want to make sure. So you see, I can tell that it's not done for him because it's still cooking out the juicy blood. So I'm going to let it go a little bit more. cover it, but honestly, in another minute, it's going to be ready. But look at this. Who wants supper? Oh my gosh, this is so good. Along with this salad. Well, I'm just going to tell you, I'm not going to eat that whole steak. I'm going to have some left over for later. But, you know, this is my treat. There's about 26 carbs in this. Yeah, hit the love button. Yeah. So, but this is a great supper. And look, I started it. I've been going here, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 minutes. Really. So, I hope you'll get in the kitchen and cook some good, optimal food. And join me again next time. Don't know, yeah, it does look really good, doesn't it, Jordy? I can't hardly wait to get into it. This makes fasting worth it. I can sit down to that and say, okay, I have fasted. Now I'm going to fuel my body with some good food. Hey, all right, we'll talk to you soon. Have a great night.